I used to help take care of a very old lady named Jessica who had a developmental disability. Her daughter, Barbara, worked at night and needed someone with medical skills to look after her mother while she was away. This was just a one-time job for me, and I'll tell you why. Jessica's daughter got in touch with me for the job. Maybe she didn't have anyone else to help out, or perhaps she didn't want to or couldn't afford to send her mom to a nursing home. Maybe she felt better having someone with experience looking after her mom. I was already helping 2 other women with developmental disabilities, so I had some experience. But that one night with Jessica was something else entirely. Earlier that day, Barbara went to work, leaving me alone. It was my first job, and I was working hard to earn as much money as I could. Barbara had introduced me to her mom, who gave me a friendly smile before they went upstairs to Jessica's bedroom for the night. It was around 9 p.m. Barbara warned me that her mom sometimes wandered around the house at night feeling confused. She explained it wasn't sleepwalking, but a symptom of her mother's dementia. I started by relaxing in the living room and watching TV. I went to the bottom of the stairs and called out Jessica's name, offering help if she needed it. Jessica didn't reply, but I heard her footsteps returning to her room, followed by the sound of her door closing. Maybe she had just gone to the bathroom. I shrugged it off and returned to watching TV. About an hour later, I got up to grab the sandwich I had kept in the fridge. Carrying my plate and sandwich, I headed back to the couch. Suddenly, I was startled to see Jessica standing in the doorway with broken glass scattered around. I was so shocked that I almost dropped my plate. I quickly apologized and asked if she was all right. Jessica began yelling at me, asking who I was. I reminded her that I was her direct care worker, hired to look after her in the house. She continued yelling, not recognizing me and questioning why I was there. I calmly explained that we had just met and Barbara had hired me. Eventually, I managed to persuade her to come back upstairs with me to her room. I gave her a glass of water and some melatonin to help her sleep, and made sure she took both before returning downstairs. After a few hours, I was completely exhausted and needed some rest. Barbara had mentioned a spare bedroom upstairs with a twin-sized bed where I could sleep if necessary. Since Jessica seemed to have settled down for the night after taking the melatonin, I thought it was safe to rest. I fell asleep quickly, but unfortunately, I only slept for about an hour. I woke up because I heard a loud banging noise downstairs. It kept happening every few seconds. It was coming from the kitchen. I quickly got out of bed. I usually keep the bedroom door open so I can hear if Jessica wakes up. This was one of those times it came in handy. I rushed down the stairs quietly. When I reached the bottom, I peeked into the kitchen. What I saw scared me. Barbara was there in the dark, opening and closing the oven door over and over again. I called out to her, and she stopped. But in the dim light, all I could see was her shadowy figure. I asked if she was okay, but she didn't answer. Instead, she walked past me and started going up the stairs. I followed her to her room, but when she got there, she slammed the door shut. I knocked and asked if she was okay, but she didn't say anything. I opened the door quietly and saw her standing by her bed, facing the wall. It was really creepy. It felt like something out of a scary movie, just like I'd seen before. I went to her and helped her lie down on the bed gently. After she was settled, I covered her with a blanket. I whispered, "Good night, Jessica," as I closed her door, hoping it would be the last time for the night. Then, I went to the spare room upstairs and got into bed. I tried not to fall asleep for at least 30 minutes, just in case she woke up again. But I'm not sure if I managed to stay awake that long because I fell asleep pretty quickly. Later, I woke up again. The room was still dark and my 1-hour alarm hadn't gone off yet. I looked around, wondering what had woken me up. Then I heard a noise coming from the closet. I saw that the closet door was slightly open, and I could see a shadowy figure peeking out. I was scared once again. I said, "Jessica?" But she didn't respond. I kept calling her name until she pushed the door open and slowly approached the bed. She started saying the same thing she said hours ago. "Who are you? I don't know you." I tried to calm her down and remind her who I was. I reached for the lamp next to the bed and turned it on. That's when I saw Jessica holding a large kitchen knife. Everything changed in that moment. Jessica wasn't just confused, she was a threat to my life. Now, I had to worry about myself, not just her. I shouted, "Jessica, drop the knife!" But she just got more upset and yelled back that she didn't know me. I knew trying to calm down someone with dementia holding a knife wasn't my job, so I quickly planned to dodge around her in the bedroom and made a run for it. As I leaped off the bed away from her, she swung the knife towards me, asking who I was. I rushed downstairs, grabbed my shoes, and went outside. Phoned Barbara, like she asked me to in emergencies. I didn't want to involve the police if I could avoid it. Barbara was furious, begging me not to leave her, but I told her what happened. She had to leave work to sort it out. I stayed outside, keeping an eye on Jessica until Barbara got back. When Barbara checked inside, Jessica was asleep in bed again. Barbara accused me of exaggerating until she found the knife by Martha's bed. I didn't mention that I had tried to sleep earlier to avoid more blame. Even though Barbara offered me a place to sleep, I decided not to work there again.